Hey everybody, this is Mel, the Mailman Jackson. It's time to circle the wagons for the Coon Prairie Ramblers, where we share our mental meanderings and confabulate on just about everything. With me to help confabulate are the two Nocatee sages. We got KC and the Moonshine Band. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Mailman.
KC is coming to us live by telephonic device. And we have Luke, the rebel without a clue.
I'm here for better or for worse.
Yeah. Well, it's time to confabulate, do some mental meandering here. We were talking about doing some things on...
It's the name of a Stevie Wonder song.
Boy,
Superstitions.
Superstitions, yeah. Yeah, Superstitions. I was wondering, I'm not sure if I have a superstition. There is, but I can't bring it to the top of my mind right now.
Really? Well, you're just drawing a blank, ain't you?
Yeah, I'm a big blank right here. Superstitions.
He's Mel Blanc right now.
Mel Blanc, the voice of Bugs Bunny.
Porky Pig and Yosemite Sam and all the rest of them.
Yeah.
Foghorn Leghorn.
The only superstition I can think of is you don't walk under a ladder. And I don't understand why. And actually, I have defied that superstition. See, I've made it a point to defy superstitions.
And you're still with us.
I'm still here. No mirror has broken. Of course, I don't know what the outcome of that is. I mean,
7 years of bad luck.
Yeah. Well, if it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all.
So you don't believe in superstition?
No, I guess I don't. But I like to think about them.
How about you, Casey?
Well, I used to, and it wasn't so much out of being superstitious. It was more of just a thing you didn't do. Is I used to wouldn't throw a hat on the bed. I would place my hats on the bed. And that was like a cowboy superstition, I suppose. But I wouldn't do that. I would never lay my hat on the bed. Now I do it. I don't go out of my way to do it, but I will do it. At one time, I wouldn't lay my hat on the bed, but it wasn't so much like I was afraid that something bad was going to happen. It was just something you didn't do.
You didn't want to tempt fate?
Yeah.
KC, I never heard of that.
A lot of people
I never heard of that one.
When people sneeze, somebody will tell you, bless you. They thought you were blowing some sort of evil spirits or something out of your body.
That's right.
Oh.
And they didn't want him to come back. Or I've also heard that they thought you had died for a nanosecond and made it through it, so they blessed you.
Well, they say you're closest to death when you do sneeze because your heart stops.
Well, where did that hat on the bed thing? I never heard of that one, Casey.
That's a cowboy thing.
It's a cowboy thing.
Oh, regional.
Could be, yeah. There's a lot of superstitions out there. I'm not sure about this black cat thing, but my father was one who was superstitious about black cats. He would turn around and drive 5 miles if one ran across the road while we were driving. Took us forever to get to some places.
And that's,
of course, if you ran over it, it didn't count.
And that's probably because they look evil, right? They got a menacing,
associated with witches and stuff.
Yeah, a menacing look about them.
Not about menacing, but they're associated with witches and stuff like that. Black cat. I don't know. It doesn't bother me. But if my father could not avoid the black cat, he would say he did see a spot of white on it. Whether he did or not, I don't know.
Well, what about a tuxedo cat?
I had one of those.
He's half and half.
Well, mostly black, but he's got like a white chin and a white breast area there.
Yeah.
That's white. We had one of those one time, and his name was Wendell. I named him Wendell, and he liked to eat tomatoes.
Wendell
the cat, the tomato-eating cat.
That sounds like a nice cat.
We didn't have him too long, and he'd run off. Anyway, I ain't much of a cat person. But superstitions, my father was also superstitious about knives. If he loaned you his pocket knife, you had to give it back to him the way he gave it to you, whether it was open or closed, or he wouldn't take it back. You heard of that one, ain't you, Casey? Pocket knives.
Oh, yeah. You don't take it away from somebody and not return it in the same way they gave it.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's a real superstition.
So what about if you're putting away knives in the drawer after you washed them?
Well, that's not somebody.
This is somebody loans you a knife, a pocket knife or something.
Okay.
Mainly a pocket knife, because you opened and closed them. I don't guess that would apply to like a knife in a scabbard.
Well, sounds like a safety thing.
Just a superstition.
Yeah.
No, because if they hand it to you open, you hand it back to them open.
Oh. If they wouldn't take it, you'd end up with a lot of knives.
Yeah.
A good way to get knives and make enemies. They wouldn't let you borrow it the second time. Another knife, I'm sure. You didn't give them their knife back the way they gave it to you. But I've never been afraid of walking on ladders or opening an umbrella in the house.
Yeah, in church, when you arrive to church and it's raining, you have to have it open so it can drain.
That's right.
So it's setting in the church open. I mean, of all places, it's in a church.
Well, a superstition shouldn't be able to get you in a church. You think you'd be safe in there.
Yeah. But that thing's got to lay there and drain. So anyway, that one's out the window.
I also knew some people before that will not sleep in a bed with their head to the west.
Because it represents being in the grave?
Right. Because most graves are that oriented to where your head's to the west.
Right. Your feet face the east.
Right. So they don't want to sleep that way.
Right.
So your bed should be arranged where the head of the bed is towards the east. Then that way, if you turned in bed, you'd always be heading east
Or north and south.
or north or south.
My bed faces the.
Oh, yeah.
My feet face the west. That's where our bed is.
Okay. Well,
My feet go north.
How about yours, Mel?
my head is north. Yeah.
You're north-headed. You're one of the north-headed people.
You can't go wrong heading north.
I'm heading west. No, I'm feeting west.
And where do you knock on wood at? Do you just hit yourself in the head?
I have done that before. That's another superstition.
Really, I've never done it because I thought that I needed to.
Yeah, but people do it in the conversation quite a bit. They'll knock on anything, pretending it's wood, fake wood, or.
I say it, but I've never done it. I don't think I don't recall really doing it. I mean, I know people do that, and I refuse to knock on my head because I'm not going to admit my head's made out of wood.
I think most people don't like the number 666, but whatever the number is, it's 666 isn't what it was.
Right, it's a number. That's all.
Yeah, it's just a number.
Yeah, like when they build new buildings now, do they still exclude the 13th floor?
Hotels do.
Do they? So actually, but if you're on the 14th floor, you're on the 13th floor.
That's right, no matter what. I think that's kind of crazy. They should have a 13. If you look at the elevator, the buttons on the elevator, there's not a 13 there.
Huh. Pay attention to that.
How weird is that?
Yeah, that's weird.
I think they could make money off people by having a 13th floor and offer it at reduced rates. If you save some money if you'll be brave enough to sleep on the 13th floor.
Well, would you say that nowadays people are any more or less superstitious than they were in the past?
I would say far less.
More or less? You'd say more or less?
I would say it's just the same.
You think?
Yeah. I think there's just as many superstitious people now as there ever were. I think maybe they don't really believe it, but they still. I know I've got some type of a superstition, but I can't really think what it is. It's not the going under the ladder or breaking the mirror or something like that.
Black cat.
What if a ladybug lands on you?
Ladybug, there you go.
Ladybug. Never heard of that one.
Tell him about it,
Supposed to
Casey.
be good luck if a ladybug lands on you.
Are there more superstitions rurally or urbanly?
I think they're regional.
Regional.
Especially in other countries and stuff.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to go to another country and see if they have any kind of a different superstition.
Well, people have these crazy sayings, too, that are almost like superstition. Like if a snapping turtle bites you, he won't turn loose until he hears thunder.
Don't cut a baby's fingernails because he'll end up stealing.
Really?
Yeah. You're using the steel. Oh, don't cut this with the steel apparatus. So what they baby fingernails they can be kind of tore off because they're so soft.
Really?
Yeah. You hear about that, Casey?
Yeah, but have you also ever blown out the candles on your birthday cake?
As I get older, it gets harder.
He can't get close enough with that beard without catching on fire.
Ever done it for your children, or have they ever done it?
Yes.
Well, that's a superstition.
Uh-oh.
We're in trouble now. We've all done that.
Yeah.
But it is a superstition.
I do it because I don't want them spitting all over the cake. When they're blowing so hard.
I know. I never thought of that until recent years. But people blowing out candles, they're spitting all over that cake.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be eating it.
You have to shave off the topping and not eat it and just eat the cake.
You have to lick all the icing off before you cut it.
Sad thing is, that's the only thing I like is the icing, especially a German chocolate cake.
Goodness. Anyway,
What
we're
about
down to
eating black-eyed peas on New Year's Day?
That's right. You got to have black-eyed peas. You got to have Hoppin' John on New Year's
Collards.
Day. That's a good one. We're down to 10 seconds, so we're going to bug on out of here. Don't get superstitious and leave us. We'll be right back.